Hey guys, this is Alex Pierce from BlenderRender.com. Node groups can be used to make very complex materials or even to simplify nodes. Then you can save those node groups and use them in other projects and even add your own custom shortcuts. Let's first look at simplifying the default shader. To create a custom node group, go to the shader editor, click on the nodes you want to add, in this case the principled BSDF, and press Command or Control G. Now you can press Tab to exit the group, and you can press Tab to enter the group. If you go over here to Item, Properties, you can change the name of this group. I'll just call this AP Mat. And now if you push Shift A, Add, and search for AP Mat, you'll get this node. If you save this as the startup file, then the next time you open Blender, you'll have access to this, and every project you open, you'll have access to this custom node group. The other thing you can do is you could append this to another project. Let's go into our group by clicking on the group and then pressing Tab. If you go up to Node, you'll see all these options here. And all we want to do right now is just simplify this. So all we need to do is take out all of these options that we don't need. So I'm going to just push minus to get rid of anything that I don't use all the time. And then if I press Tab, you'll see now we have a condensed version of the principled BSDF. At any time, I could click Tab and go into here and change any of these settings, but I don't have to see this long node every time I want to change anything. To make a custom shortcut for this, press Shift A, go down to Group, and then under AP Mat, right click, Assign Shortcut, and then I'll just push Control Shift Alt P. And now if I go Control Shift Alt P, I'll have my own custom group here. Okay, now let's look at a more complex material. Let's say you want to reuse this material again and again. You could do the same thing by making this into a group. So we're going to drag and select everything except for the output and the image textures here. So I'll just do it one more time. Control G. And we will push Tab to get out of that. And then I'm going to rename this to Complex. We don't know what's what here, so let's organize this a little bit. If we press Tab to go inside of here, the first thing we could do is we can say, okay, I want this top base color, I want that to be the top output. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press up to move it up here. I'm going to rename it to base cull. And then now if I push Tab, you can see my node group says base cull. So I know this is my base color. This one, yeah, has a separate RGB node. I'm going to move this one up as well. And I'll call this separate. And then, let's see, this is a normal map, so let's do normal map. Move that up. And then I have a diffuse shader here, so I'm just going to call that diffuse shader. Okay, that's nice, but let's say we want to access more things. Let's press Tab, and then you're going to use the group input to do that. So if for instance, if I want to access the roughness of this principled BSDF, I can just drag from the input right into roughness. This one's already taken, so let's do subsurface. So now we have a subsurface slider here. And let's say we also want the alpha. So I'll just drag in the alpha. We have access to the alpha now. For the mix shader here, I want this factor to be on the front. So let's drag over factor. And let's rename that to mix shader factor. So now we can control the mix shader right here. Same with the output. If we want to have just the regular BSDF here, we can do that. And then under outputs, I can move that up if I want. So now I have access to both the BSDF and the mix shader. And we'll just call this mix. So you can see how you can do a lot here. And again, you can save this group, you can make it the default startup file, and you can do shift complex. If you make changes to it inside the group, so let's just add a few more inputs. It automatically updates all of them everywhere. So you can also make groups within groups. I don't really recommend that, but you can do whatever you want. So you can turn all of this into a group. You can also change the default start and stop values. So for instance, if we go into our group here, and let's say on metallic, we want to be able to go more than 1. We can set this to 2. And then here under metallic, we can go all the way up to 2. The other thing that's nice is you can hide values. So let's say you don't want to accidentally change metallic or any of these other ones. You can just hide the values. And now you can't accidentally change them here like you can with roughness. You can also change the defaults. So for instance, if you want to start with your metallic all the way to 1 and your roughness all the way at 0, the next time you open one of these groups, it will start with metallic at 1 and roughness at 0. You can also do this with compositor nodes and geometry nodes. All right, that's it for this video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.